God frickin' dang it. Halfway through the season, who's leading the MVP race? Joel Embiid. What team is the first seed in the Eastern Conference? The Sixers. So what of course, happens? Joel Embiid comes down on a random play and his knee buckles. Ugh. Why am I a Philadelphia fan? At least I'm only a basketball fan, y'all, let me tell you. And I tell this to everyone else who tells me I need to get into football or baseball or whatever. I'm a Philly fan, and I'm a fan of the Sixers, and that is all that my heart can handle. Let me tell you, I don't think that I could survive being a fan of the rest of these teams, too. I'm only a fan of the Sixers because that is all I can emotionally take every year. When crap like this happens, now thank God, hallelujah, Joel Embiid only has a bone bruise. It's not a serious injury, there's no meniscus, no ACL, no big deal, no structural damage. But it still sucks, because this is still going to affect his MVP case. He's still going to miss 2 to 3 weeks is the current guess, and it's possibly comes back a little earlier than that. It's also possibly comes back a little later than that. This is just a shame, okay? Now, this doesn't kill the title hopes, and because of that, I am speaking to you normally in this video instead of crying my eyes out, because let me tell you, if Embiid tore his meniscus or some shit, I don't know what I would do. I legitimately would be crying on here, because that's how upset that would make me, okay? That would be an absolute freaking travesty. But even only missing 2 to 3 weeks is still a shame, because my man Joel Embiid, my favorite player on my favorite team, was leading the MVP race this season. Alright, Joel Embiid, and as much as some people like Stephen A. Smith seems to be convinced James Harden is somehow at number 1, and there are a few LeBron stands out there who think he's number 1, they weren't. Okay, the MVP race was clearly being led by Joel Embiid, who was averaging 30, 12, and 3, with more than a steal and a block every game, and being also a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Joel Embiid was killing it this season. He was arguably the best player in the entire league for this regular season so far. And now he hurt his leg, and he's going to miss some time. And in a normal season, 2 weeks might not have killed him with a normal player, but Embiid had already missed 6 games this year. When he comes back, he's going to be load managed to an extent, so you can say he's probably going to miss 5 or 6 more games. And this season has 10 less games than a normal season. So him missing 2 weeks is the equivalent, 2 to 3 weeks is the equivalent of him missing more like 3 to 4 weeks in a normal NBA season. It just sucks, y'all. It just really sucks. As a Sixers fan, and even as an NBA fan, anyone should be unhappy. Like any of those pieces of shit out there who are like, oh, I'm glad he got hurt. Shut the fuck up. You never want to see a player in their prime having an amazing season getting hurt and missing time. That just sucks. I did not like Kevin Durant, but I was still unhappy when he got hurt, and I was really unhappy when Klay Thompson got hurt, even though I'm not a Warriors fan, because Klay's actually a decent dude on top of it. Right? You never want to see good players, any players, but especially great players, get hurt during the season and miss time, because it just sucks. So Joel Embiid getting hurt, this is really a shame. I'm just really hoping the Sixers can manage to tread water with him out. The 1 seed is looking worse every single day. We're currently a game and a half ahead of the Brooklyn Nets, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that, y'all. But it is still very possible for the Sixers. The Sixers are very much still title contenders, because if Embiid only misses 2 to 3 weeks, that still gives us the end of the season for him to get back into everything, the team to keep building chemistry, and the team has been on a roll lately. The last couple games especially, the bench has looked great. Ben Simmons, since the start of February, has looked absolutely dominant. Tobias Harris has been great all season. The bench, once again, the bench is starting to get it together, and it's amazing. The Sixers, all hope is not lost for the 76ers, but for the MVP race, there are some new faces. Right now, Jokic is number 2, LeBron is number 3, and Dame is number 4. In my personal opinion, Damian Lillard should honestly be number 2, and I know that he's only like the 6th or the 7th seed of the West right now, but man, is he going off. Dame is averaging 30 and 10 this season, and his team just is trash. I had gotten into a debate with somebody the other day that was telling me that, like, Steph Curry deserves it over Damian Lillard. Steph Curry is a better team than Damian Lillard, considering Dame's two best players, or two best teammates, have missed most, if not all, of the season. And then Steph Curry's also a lower seed. There's no argument for Steph over Damian Lillard right now. You can say that Steph's a better player, but for an MVP case, no question whatsoever Dame deserves to be number 2, or at least in the top 3 over LeBron and Steph. You can also make an argument for Jokic, who is averaging 30, 9, and 8 this season, along with a steal, and leads the league in almost every advanced stat, despite the fact that the dude is still absolute garbage on defense. He's super clutch, he's super efficient. Jokic is a monster. If Dame or Jokic come back and they win this MVP race at the end because of Embiid's missed time, I'm not going to be too unhappy because they're both playing at an MVP level and they both absolutely deserve it this season. It just makes me sad because Embiid was clearly playing as the best player in the NBA this year. He was clearly leading the MVP race. It just sucks, guys. It just sucks, and I just needed to make this video to let y'all know, in case you didn't know, that this fricking sucks. It's sad for the NBA because one of their best players just went down, but as a Sixers fan, and if any of you others are Sixers fans too, it fricking sucks. That's all I've got for y'all today, guys. I just needed to, get that little rant off my chest. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Keep checking out my content. I'm doing my best to get videos out every day, or at least several times a week. Thank you again for watching. Have a great rest of your day.